What's going on, everyone? Hopefully, you're here today. I know there's a bus situation, so maybe you're at home watching. It's all good. Crash. Hopefully, we had that good discussion, a little bit about what happened yesterday. Even if you missed, hey, but remember, there's never an excuse to miss. If you're at home, you can always click on the videos. They're here every day. No excuse. Oh, I wasn't here yesterday, but there was a video. Could have watched it. All right. So if you remember, she's like things are about to go down. It's I think it's like 2 or 3 hours before the crash supposed to happen. She got the date wrong. We talked about that. So now she's over there trying to fix things. I'll keep going back to Alan. He sits somewhere over there in the first block B. And he was like, maybe she tries so hard that she ends up causing the accident. That would be, it's a little hot here. That would be the ultimate in irony. Yeah, before I started, it was freezing. Now they turned on the heat. Now it's hot. Yeah, that would be the ultimate in irony. Remember, irony is the exact opposite of what should happen. So think of a firehouse, right? Like that has fire trucks. If that thing actually caught on fire, that would be irony. So the fact that she knows this crash is going to happen, and by her trying to prevent the crash, she in turn actually causes the crash, that would be irony. It's the exact opposite of what she wants to have happen. Like if there's a really big dude, let's say, and his nickname is Tiny, that's ironic. So there's a little bit of irony. You may see that on some tests in the future. So, it's a little different from sarcasm. Sarcasm is like when you're making fun of something by saying the opposite. For example, my hair is horrible, right? It's falling out. I lose a little bit more each day. So if you say, hey, please don't say this. This would hurt my feelings. But hey, Mr. Watson, nice hair. Nice haircut. It's like, no, that's sarcasm. So maybe my Crimson Tide, the University of Alabama. I graduated from there. They have a pretty good football team. They lost this year. They came in second. I was hiking this mountain out in Arizona just this past weekend because I went there for my son's hockey game, and I was wearing an Alabama hat. And this guy, I promise you, he's like, ooh, tough year this year, right? I was like, we finished second. We finished second. He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, a down year for Alabama is number 2. But because they lost to Georgia, after the game, if somebody said to me, hey, nice win, nice game, that would be sarcasm because they lost. I wanted them to win. All right, so irony might be at play here. She might be the one causing the accident. And we might see that right here, right at the beginning, but because she's doing something she's never done before, like she's using tools. She says she's going to say that like she's not really exactly knows what she's doing. Uh-oh, could be a bad thing. All right, hopefully I don't get interrupted. I see some people walking in the building, and I forgot to put on the door that I'm recording a lesson. All right, right here in the highlighted part, the plow reaches the end of the road, sweeps around, and does the other side. The snow pummels the sides of the road, reaching the top of the fire hydrant and a third of the way up the signpost. If I weren't so freaked out, I'd be amazed at the way everything is coming together. As soon as 6:59 hits, so this is like even closer than I thought at the beginning when I did that little intro. So it seems like we're only like 3 or 4 minutes away from the crash happening, right? And remember, she said the snowplow is not engaged. So it's not actually plowing. It's just going down the street. This one is actually plowing. So speaking of my hair, it's awful. Jeez, it's bad. All right, back to this. As soon as 6:59 hits, I take the wrench, engage it with the lever, and pull until it's clockwise from the pipe, a quarter turn. And then I get to my feet and run like hell, hoping it'll take at least 5 minutes for the kitchen to figure out The ovens aren't firing. It takes me less than a minute to run the 2 blocks back to the truck, and I'm using some strange superpower energy that I don't normally have, chest heaving. I climb in, start it up, hit the gas. I barrel over the snow pile left by the recent plowing and drive to Ignati's and into their parking lot. It feels eerily like what the snowplow will be doing in about 3 minutes. Oh, so there, I mean, that's almost, it's not, I mean, she's not causing any kind of crash, but kind of dangerously close. Then I stop the truck and just look at this crazy scene. So familiar, so freaking spooky. All the cars are in exactly the right places. The lighting, the snow, and the snow are right. The tables I reserved are empty. I stare for a second, amazed at how everything is exactly as it is in the vision. It's like, I don't know, that TV's really loud. I hope you can't hear it. It's like being in some weird Twilight Zone episode. Okay, Twilight Zone, that's probably, I don't know, maybe Netflix did a special or something like that. But there was a series back in like the 1950s, even before I was born, where like weird, strange things that happen. You can't explain them. It was fiction. It's not real. But the Twilight Zone, I think there's famous music from the Twilight Zone, like do 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 do. You might still hear that these days, but that's where it's from. So she feels like she's in some Twilight Zone episode, but I have no more than a second to ponder it because I'm still not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this truck. What I'd like to do is park it in the path of the snowplow and make a run for it, but then it'll plow my truck into the restaurant too. So I know I'll have to gun it as it hits me, try to spin the plow. I pull up into the area just to see what happens. And now there are 5 body bags in the vision. It's obviously not the way to go. I back up and the bag's number 4 again. Jeez, I mutter, checking my watch. 7:02. Little help here, please. I grip the steering wheel and get no inkling, no clue from the vision god. Inkling? I mean, it might look like something that you would write because there is ink involved, but it has nothing to do with the pen. I will pause it here. I'm sure there's some brilliant person that knows what inkling is, just in case there wasn't, or to confirm what that person said. An inkling is just like a little feeling like, ooh, I have an inkling that there will be a snow day tomorrow or something like that. You know, I mean, yelling. There's yelling going on. Should I go over there and say, hey, someone's trying to teach over here? Probably won't do any good. All right, back to it. I think they're probably talking about the bus situation. Ooh, I would like to go over there and gossip, talk about the buses. Hey, I mean, come on, right? How hard is it to get I think it's a little more complicated than that, but like, come on, we should have buses every day for students. Embarrassing. Sorry about that. Apologize to all your parents and stuff. My wife is very shortly probably going to be like in like an hour trying to get through to get my daughter dropped off at the school because all the other parents, I mean, it's going to be a mess. I don't know what's going to happen. But there are news crews out front. So you know that the school district messed up when there are news crews out front. All right. Back to the story. Hopefully you're here. Hopefully it wasn't that hard to get into school, but shouldn't be that hard, right? To get into school. It's like a sporting event or something, like a concert. Like there's lines and lines of no, school's not that great. Is it? Maybe it is. No, it's not. It's not. All right, back to the story. Got a lot going on here. I grip the steering wheel and get no inkling, no clue from the vision god. Ugh. I yell, don't do this to me. But the vision just plays in my side mirror, not giving me any help at all. I peer down the road, suck in a few breaths, trying to keep my hands from shaking and back up a little further. Top of the next column. Before I can check the vision again to see if my move changed anything, I see a dark figure running toward me. And for a second, I'm paralyzed, unsure of whom this could be, because there is no scene like this in the vision. Then my passenger door opens and, hero of the day, Trey hops into the truck. Nice hair, he says, breathing hard. Sarcasm. I'm sure her hair's a mess. Nice hair, he says, breathing hard. He slams the door shut. What are you doing? I scream at him. You have to get out of here. I can't let you do this, he says. Do you know what you're doing? The vision plays brightly on the windshield like a warning. And suddenly there are 5 body bags again. Crap, she says. Crap. Trey, get out. You're going to die if you don't get out of here. He stares at me, puts a seatbelt on. My watch says 7:03. Ooh, she's swearing even more now, even worse. Trey, I'm serious. Get out. The snowplow will be coming here. Sorry, will be coming from there in 1 minute. I scream, pointing, and you'll get crushed. I can't scream any louder. Just calm it down, DeMarco. He yells back, and then he softens. I can't let you do this alone. What if you are one of the people who ends up dead? How would I live with that, huh, Jules? Do you think of that? Did you think of that? Just don't get T-boned. Okay, when you're talking about accidents, I don't know if you'll learn this in, what is this? What is this? T-boned. Take a second. I'll pause it. All right. T-boned. One car here, one car here. Kind of makes a T. So it's like you get sideswiped. That might be another term. Not head-on collision. Those are even worse, but you'll get T-boned. I guess if you're sitting on the driver's side and the car smashes into it, that would be bad. Yeah, T-boned. Comes from a steak. A T-bone steak, I think. T-bone steak. If you're into steak, which I'm not. Too expensive for me. Plus, I don't like I like to eat meat. I don't mind eating meat, but it needs to be like in nugget form. I can't hey, and if you love this, I'm proud of you. I wish I was more like you, but like blood grease dripping or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Not my style. I wish it was though. I know some people in here, meat eaters, which is good. Good protein. You need that stuff, but I eat chicken nuggets and hamburgers from McDonald's. Not exactly healthy, I know. All right, back to the story. T-boned we talked about. Yeah, we're not on Inkling. We're on T-boned. I stare at him hard. Don't get T-boned, I whispered. And then I see it in my head. I'm doing it wrong. I need to sideswipe the plow, not let it hit me full on. I whip the truck into reverse. You're brilliant, you stupid jerk. Top of the next column. I know, he says. I barrel around to the back of the lot, turn my truck to face the restaurant. Parallel. There's a math term right there. Side by side, right? Going in the same line. There's a loud voice in the next room. Loud voice. Parallel to the road. I'll be able to get a moving start alongside the plow, and then angle into it where it jumps the curb to steer it back to the street where it belongs. Okay, I say, get in the middle seat, strap in, you stubborn blank. I got this blank. It's 7:04. There's no time to focus on the mirror, and I can't afford to lose my concentration now. No time to know if this is a winning plan or not. I just have to do it. I suck in a deep breath, grip the wheel tighter, watch for it, rolling forward slightly to get traction. Oh my God, look, Trey says, the words trailing off. His head is turned, and he's looking behind us, out the window. He points, and his voice turns to wonder. Holy crap, Jules, you're right. Here it comes. He turns and gives me a look of utter terror. You're going to have to gun it. Dun, dun, dun. All right. That would be a good place for us to stop. But we are at the 14-minute mark. So we have some time. Let's get back to this. Let's turn the page. Chapter 32 is it? 33. Chapter 33. I glance at the restaurant one last time and see Kate, the smoking girl, coming outside. No, I shout, though there's no way she can hear me. Get back. She must be one of the people in the body bags. I realize with a pang. Oh, pang. Oh, where you go? Pang. That's a good one. Maybe we could stop. Pause. Pang. What does it mean? Pause. It's a feeling you get, maybe like a sharp pain. So you could have like a pang of hunger. I mean, she just saw maybe like her heart coming up in her throat or something like that. You could get a pang in your stomach. So it's not a good feeling. But You often hear it with pang of hunger. Pang. Weird word. Say it 3 or 4 times and it sounds even weirder. Pang, 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 pang. Imagine naming a dog Pang. That'd be a weird name for a dog. I ease onto the gas so we gain speed without spinning out just before the snowplow jounces over the curb and the snow. By the time it comes up alongside me, we are moving well, and I edge my nose in front of it, hanging on for the initial jolt. Top of the next column. The snowplow is not slowing, and I have to floor it to stay in front. I tap it twice more. It's not moving over, I scream. And then I swerve hard into it, breaking Trey's window. It's bumper cars for the big leagues. Another swear word, Jules, potty mouth. Watch it. Everything goes in slow motion. My insides quake and slam against each other. My head bangs against my window and then cracks into Trey's head, but I feel no pain. The hood of our meatball truck flies open as I find the gas pedal again and gun it once more, blinded, but trying with all my might to push the plow away from the building. Help me, I scream. I can't hold it. I can't see. Trey grabs the wheel, and together we crank it, and I catch a glimpse of the snowplow's driver's head smashing against his window, flopping forward, his body held up only by his seatbelt. So again, it seems like, we've talked about this, but it seems like some kind of medical emergency that's happening to the plow driver. Because, I mean, she's going to have to explain this to her parents, like, hey, the meatball truck is destroyed. How did that happen? What were you doing out there? I mean, I don't think she's told her mom about the vision. Trey knows. But if this guy, was a guy in there, I think, had some kind of medical emergency, I mean, like, she could be saving the day. That would be proof that, something bad was going to happen. Because if not, it's just like she's destroying this plow and her meatball truck. But it looks like he's having maybe a heart attack, right? I think we mentioned that, maybe a heart attack. All right, back to it. We're doing it. Yeah, okay. Hang on. Did we stop here? Hang on, Trey yells. The grinding sound of metal on metal makes my head want to explode. I hate that sound. It's like fingernails down a chalkboard. I lean left to try to look around the hood, seeing the restaurant window and the blonde girl safely off to my left. We're doing it, I yell. A split second later, all I can see from my side window is a brick wall coming at me. I try to get away from it, leaning my head towards Trey, but momentum is against me, and the rest of me won't won't follow. I feel my body pressing hard against my door, against my will. When the plow slams us into the corner of the restaurant, there is an enormous crunching sound and pressure. All goes black. Dun, dun, dun. I think that's the second time I've used that music, the dramatic music. I won't do it anymore. That's a good place for us to stop. Seems like the scene is done. I don't know. Is that the climax? We'll have to talk about that. Remember, the climax is the point of the story really towards the end where the conflict has been resolved, or most of it has been resolved. So like in the Marvel movies, the bad guy, it's usually a bad guy. WandaVision had a bad girl. But most of the time it's the bad guy. It's like when they've been defeated, that threat is done. And then we have something called falling action, and then like the actual conclusion where all of the loose ends are wrapped up. So we got if this is the climax, and you could argue a couple different ways sometimes, like, oh, this is where the conflict ends, or this is where the conflict ends. But I think that could be the climax, like disaster averted, pretty much. Like, doesn't seem like anybody's dead. Seems like she did save some lives. Plow guy, he might be dead. I don't know, but they got to check on him. But if she has, the vision has come true, so we know that Jules is not crazy, right? She probably won't be put into a hospital. So that's one part of the conflict. The person versus self conflict, that's pretty much done. And then the conflict of like the plow. I don't know if we'd call it nature versus person. It could be the snow, it could be a heart attack. I mean, we can't blame the person for having a heart attack. So nature Person versus nature when it goes into the building and the gas explosion and stuff like that. So that seems like that's been done. But we do have a couple different pieces to like put together. What's going to be Sawyer's reaction? Is he going to like her? Are they going to go to the dance together tomorrow? Maybe. There's also like the dad thing, kind of like we need to resolve that. Was he the one that had to leave one of the Ignati's? So there are still some loose ends to wrap up, which is why we'll start going into what's called falling action and the conclusion. Or does anybody know the fancy name for conclusion? When you get into high school and college, they might change the name of conclusion to something else. It's French. Oh man, my nose is I'm still kind of sick after like almost 2 weeks of COVID. It is denouement. Definitely very French there. Okay, but that's something you might hear for the actual like end of the story. If you want to sound super smart, hopefully you do. Denouement. All right, adios.